Okay, I've been feeling so uninspired this week. I haven't known what to make, what to talk about. I'm so sick of Watches and Wonders content. And there's some other bigger projects I'm working on, but they still need a little bit of time. They weren't ready to release this week quite yet. So I thought, if I could talk about anything in the watch space, what would I want to talk about? What would I want to make a video about? And something I cannot stop thinking about is, what is Omega doing for 2023? So last year, 2022, Omega absolutely dominated and had the whole watchosphere talking about them. During Omega Days, they launched the colorful new Aquaterras, the green Seamaster, a new Speedy 57, and who can forget about the Swatch Omega collaboration for the Moon Swatch? It was such a giant year for Omega, and I really thought they were going to move from strength to strength. So in the lead up to Watches and Wonders, I was getting myself all excited again, getting all hyped up, thinking, what is Omega going to do this year? When is Omega Days? What's going to happen? So then I started Googling and working my way through their website, and there wasn't any hints. And still, to the day of filming, nothing. Just a whole lot of Eddie Redmayne. Which leaves me with two big theories on what the brand might be up to this year. So the first one, and this is the boring theory, but what if they're just doing things differently and will quietly release some novelties throughout the year? Now I've maybe kind of been a bit of a critic of Omega and how long it's taken them to roll out their last year's novelties. I've only just started seeing some of their novelties more available at ADs, so what if they're just catching up and getting some of those supply chain kinks worked out before moving on to this year? Getting those Aquaterras to the ADs, maybe release a couple novelties in the calendar year, but have a relatively quiet one. I'm thinking of like the CK859, one of my favorite recent releases, but a relatively quiet reissue. I think Omega having a quiet year is totally possible. Maybe that's what they're up to with all of this dead air. Take the big win of 2022 and come back swinging in 2024. But my second theory is, what if they're cooking up something big for this summer and unveiling their 2023 novelties when no one is expecting it? Right when we're sick of Watches and Wonders content and we can't stomach another my top 5 favorite watches from Watches and Wonders video. It's exactly when everyone is starting to feel kind of stale that maybe Omega will bring us something fresh. And I think this might happen, especially because it's quite a big year for the brand, with the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 turning 30 this year. To say the Seamaster Diver 300 is an important watch for Omega is an understatement. It's a watch that breathed new life and relevancy into the brand in the 90s, worn by the then James Bond Pierce Brosnan, and continues to be one of their most desirable watches. So the Omega Seamaster was first introduced in 1948, and it is the longest running line still produced by the brand. But by the 90s, the Seamaster had fallen slightly out of popularity. And in 1993, they introduced the Omega Seamaster Professional, the watch you probably think of when somebody says Seamaster, a dive watch with a unidirectional bezel, wave motif, and the ever-contentious helium escape valve. Now I just don't believe Omega would pass up the opportunity to celebrate a big anniversary for this watch, and the temptation to make it a limited edition. They love limited editions. But anyways, I just wanted this to be a quick, short, low-stakes speculation video. I'd love to know what you guys think. Have you noticed the lack of Omega this year? I really think Omega is going to surprise us in the next couple months, within the next 3 months, just as things are settling down, just as we're getting kind of bored on the ever-rotating hamster wheel of watch consumerism that I'm so addicted to. Like, I don't want to be, but I am. Just as we're getting bored and the dust is settling, I think Omega might really shake it up. I think they're still gonna give us a celebratory Seamaster of some kind, and my greatest hope and dream would be like a reissue of the 225450, my personal favorite Seamaster, with the small wave motif, slightly smaller helium escape valve, sword hands, simple bracelet. I would lose it but I think it might ultimately be a combination of my two theories. A few new releases dotted in throughout the year without it being a single day, like everyone else pretty much does. A single day of like, hey, here's all our new novelties right now. Maybe they'll just keep dotting them in throughout the year. But hey, that's just my theories. I'd love to know if you guys have any. What do you guys think Omega's up to this year? Are you missing them? Let us know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys sometime in this week. I've got some exciting content planned out. See you then. Really quickly, a little end of the video biggest thank you ever to Pope tier patrons. Their names should be on the screen. I had a quick Google of greatest people in the world, and Pope tier patrons came up on that Google search as greatest people in the world, and particularly newest Pope tier patron, Brian S. It's what Google said, so it really did. But thank you, Pope tier patrons. Thank you all patrons, but special thanks to Pope tier patrons. And if there's another new Pope tier patron and I didn't say you, I'll say you next video. Don't you worry. You will get said. Bye, guys.